for any spiritual path to flower or for any endeavor to happen, we should have what is called as a discontentment, isn't it? If I'm content with what I am and what I do, what is the need for change? Not only spiritually, even in this world, when you need progress, it always came from a sense of a benign discontentment. A quote has been attributed to one of the English authors. He said that reasonable people adapt themselves to the world. Unreasonable people want the world to adapt to what they want. So most of the worldly progress has been result of having enough number of unreasonable people in the world. And the point here is discontentment. Something is not okay. Something needs change, comes from benign discontentment. Though we say contentment is a very great value, but contentment can also be a tamasic value if we don't know what to be content with and what not to be content with. To be content with something which is not essential for my own journey of human life is a sign of a great value of contentment, right? But living with misery, not questioning it, not seeing through it, not even thinking about a solution to a misery, and being content with misery and resigning to what I am experiencing right now without trying to change it is not a very positive value to hold on to, isn't it? And so any progress, inner, outer, came from a sense of discontent. You see, discontent with the status quo, discontent with mediocrity, discontent with very average living. And most of the spiritual uplift happened when somebody felt that discontent. So discontent can also be a value when it is directed towards something which takes us forward to a fundamental, essential purpose of life, you see. And so discontentment is the first step for spiritual flowering as well, which is the reason why Vyasa Bhagavan included that also as a part of Bhagavad Gita, as more an introduction to this grand spiritual truth. There is nothing which Gita does not say. Everything is encompassed in Gita. All the spiritual values are very beautifully encompassed by Gita. Why would it not be? It is our own Bhagavan Sri Krishna who is revealing Gita, isn't it? So everything is there in Gita. All the Upanishad Sara is there in Gita. And so that is the reason why the first chapter itself is Arjuna Vishada Yogam. See, the sorrow or the grief which was afflicting, or the Arjuna was afflicted with grief, and that itself is called yoga. Why? Because any Shastra starts with a precondition to enter into the Shastra. It is called eligibility, adhikari in Veda. And it is true not only for Shastras, it is true for our college education. They say minimum you should have taken these subjects and you should have had at least 12 years of school education. Then you are fit or eligible to do the study. Why not? It's discrimination. Why should I be discriminated against people who have never gone to school? Then the point is very simple. It won't give you the fruit. Simple. We are going to teach you something. And for that teaching to give its fruit of learning, these are the preconditions. If you don't have those prior conditions, it is a wasteful endeavor for you and me to educate you, because you don't have the background. You don't have the, as it were, the plowing done in your mind for the seed to germinate into a fruitful crop, you see. And so that's why there is adhikaritvam in everything. And any Shastra, even Brahma Sutra will start with the word ataha or athato. After this and hence come, sit down, I'll teach you something. So there is always an entry criteria for everything. And the entry criteria for spirituality for normal people like you and me is a benign sense of discontent and grief, looking at the status quo. Suddenly a question comes, what have I been doing all my life? What have I attained? What have I achieved? And whatever my achievements are, suddenly I realize they are all only milestones, they are only means. What have I done towards purpose? That question, once it assails us, then we are ready for something bigger. That benign discontentment. And that benign discontentment should come when we have a teacher nearby. Otherwise, it will lead us to disastrous consequences. And the benign discontentment, as we see in Bhagavad Gita, is also created by the Guru only. You see, until Bhagavan told Partha, hey Partha, look at the other side. The way in which he told him to look at the other side, he suddenly looked very differently. He didn't look at the other side. He saw that side as his side, you see. And he's saying, I am fighting with my own kin, I am fighting with my own clan, I am fighting with my own acharyas, I am fighting with more fathers-in-law. Arjuna, no. Adhanala, he has started looking at the opposite side as his own relatives. And so he started getting the grief. And most of the people who comments on this say, it is the Rishikesha who created the grief in the heart so that he can progress further. And he can use Arjuna as pretext to bless all of us with a meaningful Sanatana Dharma, which is relevant to the current times.